Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into what is basically a survival guide for educators in this new age of AI, and we're drawing on some fantastic work by author Matt Miller.
So you remember when ChatGPT first just exploded onto the scene? At first, it really felt like a toy. It could do all these wild things, write hilarious stories, come up with party themes, and yeah, even crank out rap lyrics about asparagus.
But for educators, that playful thought, well, it pretty quickly turned into a very serious question. If this thing can do all that, what on earth does this mean for our classrooms? How are we supposed to handle homework and essays and just academic honesty in this new world?
And we're not talking about some niche tool that only a few people use. Get this, ChatGPT got 1 million users in just 5 days. 5 days! It took Instagram 2 months to hit that same number. This isn't some fad that's going to fade away. It's a massive, massive disruption, and it is moving at lightning speed.
So how do we even begin to navigate this? Well, we're going to break it down into 5 key parts. First, we'll talk about the revolution arriving. Then, a really cool idea, today versus tomorrow glasses. After that, we'll get into a new classroom playbook. Then tackle the big one, rethinking cheating. And we'll finish up by talking about leveraging what makes us human.
All right, let's dive in. Section 1, the AI revolution is here. It's not some abstract thing in the future anymore. It's here now. For years, right? AI was something out of the movies, like HAL 9000, or maybe robots on an assembly line. It was distant. But ChatGPT completely changed the game. Suddenly, AI had this friendly, conversational face. You weren't just writing code, you were having a chat. And like the source material says, it felt so human. And that is exactly why it's so disruptive.
So how in the world should we deal with this change? The key really is a shift in perspective. Our source material frames this brilliantly. It says, we need to choose which pair of glasses we're going to look through.
Okay, so you've got 2 ways of seeing this whole situation. On one hand, you can put on your today glasses. With these on, you're judging AI based on our world right now. And the instinct? It's to block it, to detect it, to just try and preserve the way things have always been. But what if you put on the tomorrow glasses? The whole focus shifts. You stop reacting and start asking, how do we get our students ready for their future? A future where AI is just a given. It's about moving from being reactive to being proactive.
And let's be honest, we've been here before, haven't we? Remember the panic when calculators showed up? The fear was that kids would get worse at math. Or what about search engines? Oh no, they'll just look up the answers. Every single time, the fear was that technology would make students stop thinking. And every single time, we adapted. We moved beyond simple calculation to complex problem solving. We went from memorizing facts to applying them. Generative AI? It's just the next big step in that same story.
Okay, so if we decide to put on those tomorrow glasses, what do we actually do? Well, that brings us to our new classroom playbook. This is where we get practical.
Check this out. It's a simple but honestly brilliant twist on a classic teaching strategy. Most of us know think, pair, share. Well, now we just add a step. Think, pair, ChatGPT, share. See what's happening here? The AI isn't the shortcut to get the answer. It becomes like a third person in the group, another perspective that students can question and analyze before they share their own more refined thoughts.
And you can get so creative with this. Have your students grade an essay that the AI wrote, using your actual rubric. Have them debate the AI to sharpen their own arguments. They can even feed their own work into the AI and ask it to find flaws, or get this, remix it into a completely new genre like a sea shanty or a soap opera. The goal totally shifts from just creating content to critically engaging with it.
And what about for teachers? What's in it for us? Well, the biggest gift AI offers is time. Just think about it. It can handle all those tedious tasks like drafting emails to parents, or creating quiz questions, or generating ideas for lesson plans. And that frees us up to focus on the deeply human work of teaching. Actually connecting with students, sparking their curiosity, and giving them meaningful feedback.
And all of this leads us right to the elephant in the room, rethinking cheating and plagiarism. We absolutely cannot ignore the concerns about academic honesty.
The old, clear line between human work and cheating,
It's gotten really blurry. It's more like a spectrum now. A student might use AI for some ideas, or maybe to polish their grammar. Or, yeah, they could just copy and paste the entire thing. The most important thing is that we, as educators, have to define where the lines are for every single assignment, and we have to do it through open, honest conversations.
And this brings up a really provocative question. As professionals, as adults, we use tools like this all the time, right? A grammar checker, a tool to help us brainstorm. So, which of these methods would you use in your own work? And if we're using them, why would we hold our students to a totally different standard than the one they're going to face in the modern workplace? It's something to think about.
This also throws a wrench in our traditional definitions. Plagiarism, at its core, is about stealing from another human. But an AI isn't a human, and its output, legally, isn't considered anyone's intellectual property. Now, that doesn't make it right to pass it off as your own work, of course not. But it does show that our old rulebooks really need an update for this new world.
So, if AI can do so much, what's even left for us to do? And that brings us to our final and I think most important section, leveraging our humanity. Researcher Sherry Turkle gives us this really powerful warning. She says, we expect more from technology and less from each other. When we get too reliant on tech for connection and for understanding, we risk lowering our expectations for real human interaction. The rise of AI actually makes things like empathy and connection more valuable, not less. This whole moment is forcing us as educators to get back to basics. We have to know our why. Why did we assign that essay in the first place? I mean, the goal isn't just to get a paper turned in. It's to develop a student's ability to think, to reason, to communicate. Holding on to that fundamental purpose, that becomes our compass for navigating all of this.
Which brings us to the skills that are truly AI-proof. A machine can spit out text, sure, but it can't replicate genuine human critical thinking. It can't be truly creative. It can't feel empathy. It can't have a vision and then execute on it. These skills, these are what have to become the new heart of our curriculum.
So we end with this. AI isn't a question of if anymore. It's here. It's a question of how. It's a tool, and its arrival doesn't diminish our role as educators, it clarifies it. It's a call to action to double down on what makes us completely irreplaceable. AI is here. The question for every educator, for every single one of us, is how will you use your humanity?